Okay, hello, and welcome everyone to another episode of Totally Broken Opinions. This month's June. Fuck my life. Can I ever get an intro right?
No, you cannot. I mean, you want the intro job, so I'm just going to take the piss out of you each time.
It's my fucking well, it's our podcast, but it's mostly me talking, so.
Wow, I'm a man of few words. I convey my emotions in those few words. And
also, anyone listening, we apologise for. Well, I apologise for a fan. It's fucking
I also
hot in the UK,
have a
and
fan.
we're not built for it.
Especially new builds. We both live in new builds, so both of our houses are like 28 to 30 degrees. And without air conditioning, I had a shower earlier, and I already want another shower.
I've also been outside, and not a good decision. I've been also doing manual labour, so that's also not a good decision. But yeah, so let's talk about what we did in June.
Yeah.
I did not much.
To be honest, most of my month was more life rather than watching TV and films. Which...
See, mine was mostly work. So my life became my work for...
To be fair,
3 out of the 2.
There was a lot of things I wanted to watch, but I've just not had time because life got in the way. Well, I say time.
Same.
I get onto things.
I've done 3 things.
All right, okay.
So I only have 3 things to talk about.
Go for it. You might as well go first then. Go for it. Why not?
So I watched the spin-off John Wick film Ballerina with Ana de Armas. Really enjoyed it. Because I know I'm not a big fan of the John Wick franchise. I think the John Wick franchise is okay. It's good action, but the story kind of sucks.
I'm still confused how there's 4 films about a guy who's killing people over his dead dog.
Kind of ends after the first one. It's basically the political stuff caused by him killing people over the dead dog.
Right.
So it's not just him still killing people over the dead dog. It's... Oh, he killed a bunch of people over a dead dog. Now here's all the ramifications for killing that dead dog. Spoilers.
I mean...
but this one's a spin-off. Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, it's probably not really a spoiler.
Someone might not have seen it.
Isn't that the whole plot
also,
of John Wick?
Yeah, but there's also... So, I don't know if you care about spoilers for the 4th one.
I probably will watch it one day, but that day is not today, and I will forget, so go for
it. He dies.
Oh, really?
At the end of the... Yeah, well, the thing is they've announced a 5th one, so how they're going to do that? Whether or not... Because he's in it still. So this is set between, I think, the 3rd film and the 4th film.
So is it going to be called, 3.5?
Well, this is... So I don't know what the new one would be, so... But I imagine what they're going to do is they're just going to have it look like he died, because it's basically him falling asleep on the steps, if you look at it from that perspective.
Oh, right, okay.
Because he basically loses a lot of blood in a certain amount of time. So, but I would say...
Might also be a duplicate or something, I don't know. Body double?
Yeah, they could probably introduce cloning. That doesn't... No, it's probably not. But I would say my ranking for the movies is 4, Ballerina, 1... 2 and then 3, because I don't really love the John Wick franchise that much. I think the first one's probably a 6, the second one's probably a 5.5, third one's a 4, then Ballerina's probably a 7, and then John Wick 4 is probably like a 9, I would say.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's good. I like Ana de Armas. She's really good as a action, like if you remember the Bond movie she was in,
yes,
the last one.
She's roughly
very
remember
good
it.
at the... Yeah, she's very good as the espionage, spy. They address the complaint that I'm sure a lot of people would have had, where she's a woman, so how can she fight all these men? She struggles. She has to use a bunch of other stuff to beat them. She doesn't just absolutely own everyone. I will tell you.
Is that just to please the incels that watch his film?
I don't know. Probably. But there's even a line of dialogue. It's like, you are always going to be at a disadvantage because of your height, stature, and all your build and everything like that. So use anything at your disposal. And then she goes and kicks a man in the nuts. So it's... But there's an entire sequence in this movie where like there's a whole bunch of assassins coming to kill her, and she's in a narrow like corridor situation, and all she does is just throw grenades at people. So like it's great. There's also a flamethrower, which is the best scene in the entire movie because I love a flamethrower.
Do
if
you
know
need
anything about me?
To have watched the previous ones to watch this one?
No, this is kind of just like it helps if you know John Wick, but it does not require you to know anything about John Wick.
Because as
you
I
just
look at it,
see the guy.
I was intrigued to watch it. Let's say
it's definitely worth a look. I don't think it's done that well because I think people are just like it's got decent review scores, but I think it just didn't do well at the box office.
Yeah,
but I think Ana de Armas can carry a movie. She's just really good. She does action really well. I think the story is more interesting than a lot of the John Wicks because it basically culminates into a cult town.
Right.
And she's just wiping out a cult town. And you're like, oh shit, okay, cool. Anyway, that's one of the things I've done this month. What about you, Dan?
Well, I've not actually seen any new film or TV shows this month. When I say new, I mean new to me, but not new to the world. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so...
First time watching,
let's say, yeah, for me. And the first thing that came to my mind when writing my list was the film Simple Favor.
Are you actually writing a list now?
Yeah, well, not every month, but I did it before this podcast. I do it before each month, the podcast. To recap of things I have done this month. I don't do it as and when. I'm not that much of a psycho like some people
only
are.
Took you 5 years.
I've been doing it all year. That's what I've done every year.
Uh-huh.
Throughout this year.
Yeah.
So Simple Favor. It's Blake Lively. And
Did you watch another Simple Favor?
I didn't know there was a second one until my partner told me about 5 minutes.
Came out this year, Dan. You could have watched it.
I didn't know there was a sequel, and I'm so confused how there is because the ending of the first one doesn't really feel like there should be a sequel.
Well, I can get on to what I know about Blake Lively this year. So keep going, and I'll find out.
I know she's on it's like a court case or something, isn't it?
Yeah, that just got basically decimated because I watched a video on it. So.
Yeah.
But not for her. She did all right, I think. The guy who was suing her basically got fucked.
Yeah. And to be fair, I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's a great film, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I think Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick had good chemistry on screen.
This
one. To be fair, some of the plots I didn't entirely see coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know how much you know about
What's it about? I've never watched it.
Funnily,
I was going to watch it at some stage, but because I saw that there was a sequel coming out, I was like, oh, I'll add that to my... And then I just never got round to it.
I watched it at the beginning of the month, so give me a moment to get my bearings. But it kind of starts off with a stay-at-home mum whose partner died, and...
Blake Lively or Anna Kendrick?
Anna Kendrick. So Anna Kendrick is the protagonist in this story. And then she befriends Blake Lively's character. But Blake Lively's character is like a workaholic and never really sees a child. So I don't remember the characters' names, I'm sorry. Then Anna Kendrick looks after basically the child of her and sort
Henry
of...
Golding's in this one?
Yeah, and then she dies.
Linda Cardellini.
Yeah, Blake Lively dies.
Oh. Okay.
And then it's like it looks like a suicide because they found her body in a lake, and she had heroin in her system. And it was known that she was a bit of an alcoholic, but never known that she did heroin. And yeah, the whole bunch of different plot twists. One of them is that Blake Lively was a sibling of a psychotic triplets.
Right.
And then she basically killed her and her sister killed her dad because they were abused by him as a child. And then they had to split their ways. And then they kind of couldn't pin them on each other.
And this is a comedy or a thriller?
Comedy thriller? No, I say thriller. It's just comedy. I don't think there's much thriller to it. Because it's not like suspenseful.
Sounds hilarious.
Yeah. It's more the plot. The plot kind of intrigued me. And then she basically ends up killing her sister because her sister tries to extort her for money because she's like a drug addict. And then she used this to fake her death with the insurance payout, but didn't tell her husband, so her husband thought she actually died. And then her husband then started sleeping with Anna Kendrick, which was her best friend. It came like a love triangle. And then they find out that she's still alive. And, and then eventually kind of comes to a conclusion that she gets arrested for it, basically. And, she tries to kill Anna Kendrick because... And then they try to frame the husband for money fraud.
Right.
Yeah. Also, just a quick side note of the weirdest thing is her dad killed her fiance because... It might have been her fiance and a brother, I think, actually. It was her fiance and a brother. Her fiance killed her brother because she slept with her brother at her dad's funeral. Which is really fucked.
Wait, who's...
Anna Kendrick.
Wait, there's incest or...
No, incest.
Someone...
No, actual incest, yeah.
Okay. Right.
Full on incest.
Blake Lively incest or Anna Kendrick incest?
Anna Kendrick fucked her brother at her dad's funeral.
Did she know it was her brother?
It was a half brother, I think. And she did know, yes.
Right. Okay.
But it looked like her dad, which made it even weirder.
What?
And that was like one of the reasons. She was like, "Oh, I felt so familiar."
So wait, was Anna Kendrick the one who was getting fucked by her dad, or was that Blake Lively?
Anna Kendrick. Yeah.
What the fuck is this movie?
It's quite... I told you, the plot got me. All the twists and turns.
Are you sure you weren't just on Pornhub, Dan?
It does sound like it. I mean, I don't see any graphic details.
Right.
I think it's a 12 or something. But...
She was 12? Fucking hell.
Yeah. I can't believe the second one. I have to watch it. It's probably crap, but I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'll watch it anyway. Why not?
Okay, let me know how much more incest there is.
It can't be good. It cannot be good.
Well, let's find out too. What's this review score? 61. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes means nothing, but
it's 55.3. It's not great.
Yeah.
To be fair, the first one was 6.7. I enjoyed the plot, so I don't know.
So you'll love this one. Maybe the dad comes back from the dead and fucks the kid again.
Like I said, I'm not going to say it was a great film, but it was entertaining. I was entertained.
Fair.
Or mystery thriller comedy, that's what it's known as.
Right, okay.
And it's actually R-rated, I didn't realise. I thought it was 12, but it's not.
You just wished that they were 12.
Which actually reminds me, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of swearing in it.
I would imagine. Anyway, let's talk about a different film, because this is the only other film I've watched this year. I watched F1, the movie.
You actually watched it? I wanted to watch it. It came out yesterday or this week, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out a couple of days ago, I think.
Yeah, I really wanted to watch it. I was going to see if I could watch it for this podcast, but I didn't actually know when it came out.
I liked it.
But yeah,
it's good. I liked it.
There was no tickets. I couldn't get a ticket anywhere for anything. It was sold out. And yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't give a shit about F1.
Didn't make you care anything about F1?
Not really.
No.
I like watching because I like the movie Ford v Ferrari. I like a plucky like underdog story.
Yeah.
And like the whole premise of this is I don't know if AXG is a real
it's not real
brand.
But yeah, what was quite interesting was they actually made like real renders for like the team, like F1 everything. And then in whole F1 when watching it at the moment, they're just promoting the film and it's quite interesting.
Right. Okay. No, I was thoroughly entertained. I know I like Brad Pitt as a lead, even though I think he's a bit scummy in real life. Don't know. You hear some things.
I think the plot of it is based on events from the actual F1.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like I heard two names because these were like the only two that they focus on, and they're the only two ones that I knew, which was Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen or whatever it is.
Well, I think the story. I think so Brad Pitt is a take on an F1 driver called Fernando Alonso.
Right.
Because the driver himself also was retired and then came out of retirement to race again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
yeah, they do mention... I'll tell you the premise or the plot, because I I don't care. No, well, I won't spoil it.
Don't spoil it. I want to watch it.
I mean, there's not much to spoil. If you've watched any movie like this, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be an underdog story, but you never know. Maybe
Yeah.
a bit of the bobsled team. You don't know. The Jamaican bobsledding.
What?
You've not seen the Jamaican... I can't remember what it's called, but it's the story about the Jamaican bobsled team.
No.
It's like an
I
underdog
think I
story,
know
but they
rough-
actually lose the end.
It's like Eddie the Eagle as well, where
I don't know. I'm not seeing that.
Eddie the Eagle is the guy who was like a British skier, and went to the Olympics in like the 1970s, I think, 60s, or
Yeah.
something. And he was like Britain's only long jump skier, and he was shit basically, but he had determination to go to the Olympics because he was, I think, the only person on the team for the long distance ski jump or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I think he did do the jump, but he didn't win.
Right.
But the whole premise is of him doing the jump and how dangerous the jump is, and he does the jump. But he doesn't win the whole thing. He comes like third, I think. He gets a medal in the Olympics, I think, is the whole point. So, but yeah. No, this movie, the tension is good. The cast is really good. The main love interest is really good. I really like her. She's vaguely age appropriate for Brad Pitt. Which Hollywood loves to do, is they actually have kind of started pairing older actors with age-ish appropriate people. But yeah, no, the new guy is also the other lead is also really good. Their rivalry is well done. Like, you actually kind of understand, like, oh yeah, this guy's a bit of a prick. The other guy's a bit self-centered. They're going to clash. They're going to have all of these things. One's really good at driving. The other one's got really good potential, but just isn't utilizing it. That sort of thing. If you like car movies, this is a very well done car movie. The action's very good.
I know they used actual F1 cars as part of it, like the actual physical. It wasn't like a lot of it.
You do see a lot of the shots is like, I don't know if they strap it to the car. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
they strapped the cameras to actual cars and they just had F1 drivers just driving around.
Yeah,
because
So,
it was a
you
lot
do
more
feel-
real. Like,
yeah, you do. A lot of the shots do feel like there's very little CG. I think in terms, like, I'm sure there is CG. Don't get me wrong. I
yeah,
think, like,
yeah, but that always is.
there's
but-
obviously, yeah, there's always going to be CG. Like, I hate the fact that Hollywood has decided that, like, doing a real stunt and then covering it as CG still counts as doing the stunt. Like the last Mission Impossible movie, where he drives off that cliff
yeah,
with the motorbike, and then it's like, oh yeah, we did that for real. But then you look at what it actually is, it's him going up a wooden ramp.
yeah.
And then they cover.
I guess
Like,
that's-
they go, oh
you know,
yeah, it's super practical, but then they cover it in CG to, like, I get it, but like they go and say, oh, we did it all for real. It's all, there's no CG in this movie. A lot
the
of
thing is,
time.
right, it probably wouldn't have been that much more difficult to just have him
Die.
like, actually jump off. I mean,
No, I think the ramp.
no, I
made
mean
it
like having
easier.
CG on it. If it was entirely CG, it probably. Wouldn't
I think it would have been
that
so funny if that movie, he looks to the, like, right. He's like, how the fuck am I going to get there? And he looks to the right, and there's just a ramp. And then it's like, oh, how cool. That's convenient. I think it's much more funny and much more, like, thing. And you have it if there's just randomly a ramp on that hill. And he just go,
Yeah,
like,
I
make
think-
it so that the ramp is, like, disheveled and decrepit or whatever it is.
You could even
But-
have like another base or
Like
something,
this.
or like not base, but like a building infrastructure or something.
Yeah, just something in the area
And then
that
like
you could
I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe not the whole ramp. I think you'd have to have a level of CG.
You'd have to have like you'd have the whole ramp, but then you'd replace it with like a wrecked ramp.
Yeah.
Like with, and then you could have it like where the wheel hits the thing and it goes through a board, and then he has to go and do it again, and he has to get enough speed to go, like that sort of thing. I think that's more where you're like, because when you look at the thing, it doesn't look that great, which is a shame because he did do that for real. But yeah, no, I don't know how much Brad Pitt actually drove. I think he probably did a bit.
Yeah, I don't.
So I know they have different variations. It's like F4, F3, F2, and F1, isn't it?
I've not heard of F4. If that makes it.
Isn't F4
F3. I don't think I've not heard of F4. I've only heard of 3, 2, and 1. I don't think there's F4.
F4 being the entry-level series and
There is an
F1
F4.
being the pinnacle.
Just never heard of it. Because they don't...
The only reason I know of F4 is because a YouTuber called Ludwig is doing it in Europe with a bunch of other people, and I was like... Because it's like the entry level to F1, so the cars are still fast, but like...
Yeah, but
they're not doing...
Everything other than F1 is a spec series.
I don't know what that means.
All the cars are the same.
Right.
Whereas F1...
Yeah.
F1 isn't actually a driver sport. It's actually more of an engineering sport, technically.
Wait, yes, that's one of the plot points in this movie, is they have to build a back spoiler or whatever, a back bumper thing to make it so that they can accommodate Brad Pitt's driving style.
That sounds like Max Verstappen.
Yeah, because Brad Pitt's character... it's very interesting, because his like entire thing is like he knows all the rules and everything, so he plays the game to how he drives. So he knows he can't win in some instances, so he like gets clipped on his rear or like his front thing so that the safety car comes out.
Yeah.
Or he like goes over the dirt and gets the gravel on the road so the safety car comes out, so that the timing of his teammate can go and he can still go down, do the laps and catch up to people and get the time down and all of that. Like the timing on the tires and all of that stuff. Like he times it so his teammates stay out on the road whilst everyone else pit stops. And then there's a moment, I think, where he's going to go into the pit stop, so everyone else is going to go into the pit stop as well. And then he just kind of darts back out and keeps going on his wheels. So everyone else has kind of gone into it, but he's darted out of the way. It's very interesting. I don't know how legal any of it is. I don't know if that's actually a thing that you could do.
There's rules on pit stopping, so...
But that's the thing. I think it's on that teetering edge of like they can't do anything of it because it's not like... I think there's a moment in the film where it's basically luck whether or not what happened was going to disqualify him from the race.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
I mean, just...
I would recommend it.
I'm going to watch it. And like I said, I would have watched it this weekend if I could get tickets, but I couldn't get tickets. So
yeah, no, I highly I recommend it. I think it's a very good, like, if you have an interest in F1, even if you don't have an interest in F1, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Well, I've heard it was sort of made to actually grow the interest in F1 as opposed to please people who are interested in F1, if that makes sense.
I won't be watching F1, but maybe someone else will. Hang on, I'm going to go get a drink.
That's fair enough. I'm also going to get a drink.
Non-sponsored drink. We're living the high life. Dan's also gone to get something. Right, I'll keep everyone entertained. How are we doing today? Here's some pictures of dogs. If you're watching the YouTube video. I hate how YouTube has made so many things look like AI. I mean, yeah. Let's look at baby. Look at these baby dogs. So cute. This one's on small fingers. I saw a thing that a dog was born without a butt. So let's have a look-see.
I'm back.
That's nice.
I already had
the news not
a pint and a half of water since starting this podcast. That's how hot it is in our rooms.
Okay. Well, I was talking about dog butts. So.
Dog butts?
Yeah, I saw a news article a couple days ago where a dog was born without a butthole. So they were doing a GoFundMe to raise money for the dog so it could get some surgery to make a butthole.
Uh-huh. That's so weird.
Yeah. That was mainly because I was showing people pictures of dogs whilst we waited.
Talking about dogs.
You fucked one.
No. I had some sad news this month. We had to put our dog down this month.
Damn it.
which is really sad.
It's the third year in a row where a dog has been put down near my birthday.
Yeah, it was
Not
really
to take
sad.
anything away, I am sorry for your loss. It
Thank
does
you. That's
suck.
actually really nice. Yeah. I've actually had
But I
some
know
family
your
members
pain.
who know things and just didn't say anything to me. They didn't care. And was
Yeah,
like,
I know your pain because the last 2 years my dogs have had to be put down. So,
it's so hard. I don't know.
I wasn't even there to be there, so
well,
I had
was,
to go through it through a text message.
Yeah, so I had it. My dad messaged me. I was at work, and he said, "Can you come home after work?" Because even though I've moved out from home, I still see my parents regularly. So I looked after I looked after her in May,
Yep.
like literally like 3 weeks ago, and yeah, my dad messaged me. He said, "Can you come home after work?" And basically, when I got home, they had already put her down that day, about half an hour before I got there, and. Honestly, it was so tough. I don't think I've actually cried so much ever in my life. And
How old?
she was 9,
Oof.
and she was
Yes,
Jack
yeah.
Russell, so her life expectancy
Mhm.
is actually like 15 to 17 years old.
Yeah.
So it's completely unexpected. We don't
Was it
actually know.
Through complication. Oh, you don't know.
They don't know. So what happened when she was with me? She kept leaving wee patches on the sofa or the floor, and
Mhm.
then my parents took her to the vets when they came back, and they just said, "Oh, maybe like emotional disturbance or things." Then she just got worse and worse. And then she couldn't jump up; she was in too much pain, and her legs were trembling. She wasn't eating; she didn't eat for 6 days.
Yeah.
So my parents put her down, basically. I think in my heart it was either a bad infection that went through her whole body, like a kidney or UTI. If it's just untreated, it can just kill you. And it's the same for humans, really. If you have a kidney infection and you don't get it sorted, it can kill you. Or maybe
Jack Russell, yeah.
Jack Russell, yeah. And yeah, that was really sad. But I grieved a lot, and I got through it. I made a photo album of her, and I was looking at that a lot. And that had 560 photos on it for 9 years.
Not a bad number.
Not a bad number. So, yeah, and yeah, it's sad, but you know, even with grief and everything, and my partner supported me a lot through it, and I spoke to my parents a lot, like every day. I think it was harder for them because they have to go home, like
Yeah.
to an empty house, and that's hard. For me, it's
Do
just
you know if they're planning on getting another one? Or?
no, not anytime soon. It's too soon for even that decision. And yeah, I think they're at the point now. Well, even for myself, I don't want to get a dog because I don't want to be tied down. And I love having a dog, but as soon as you have a dog, it's much harder to go on holiday or just do things.
Oh yeah, I'd love to get a pet, but I can't get one because one, I'm single,
Yeah.
which didn't change during the month, unfortunately. Yeah, so I would love to get a dog, but I feel like I don't have a situation where I can own a dog because one, I work a lot,
Yeah.
so it's just unfair to the dog to just be left here. Like, I have a little garden that it could run around in, but it's not like the biggest space. I look at my neighbors who have dogs, and it's just like, your garden's tiny, and you have like 2 dogs.
I think
I'm
it's fine if you have like a single small dog because they can tire out quite easily. But if you've got a big dog, it's so much harder. So.
Oh yeah, the small little dogs. I would always go because my dad has cocker spaniels.
Yeah.
And so 2 years ago, my dad had to put down my dog of 12 years.
Yeah.
Well, so like really sucks because it was 2 days before my birthday.
That's oh
So-
god.
So I got a text message going, "Oh, your dog's dead," and I was like, "Or the dog's."
Why was it a text
gone.
message? That's not like the best way to give news like that.
Because my dad was on holiday, so he was
What?
literally with the dog. Yeah, my dad was on holiday with the dogs, and had
Oh,
to just
shit.
put the dog down. And like, I got a text message, and then it was just like, oh shit, because because like I don't think he had good self-perception, so I think he just had to
Yeah.
live with it. So then I had 2 days where I was just like, oh, okay. And then it was just like, through my birthday. Because I was going to go up and visit my dad at the time. So I was going to go see my dog. And it was just like, oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
And then a year later, my dad had to put down because my dad immediately got, because my dog Poppy had a daughter called Willow.
Yeah.
And so my dad got 2 more dogs to keep Willow company.
Yeah.
Because like she'd never been alone. Her mum just died, and they saw that she was kind of sad, so they went, "We'll get some new ones." And then a year later, like they put Willow down because same sort of reason. Because I think the Poppy died of cysts.
Yeah.
Like she'd done so many surgeries to get rid of them, and they basically said if she goes through more like surgery, she's just gonna not be able to cope, basically. So it's easier for them to just like it's a better life choice. Like otherwise, she's just gonna be constantly going in and out of surgery. It's not fun for the dog to basically be going through that. And it's like 12 years, good innings. Willow was 11. 12. Cause I think Poppy was 13. Yeah, I think Poppy was 13. Willow was 12 when she passed. So, yeah, fucking most of my life at the time was with that dog had been around because they got that dog when I was 8. So, 10. They got that dog when I was 10. So I think maybe 14 even because 2 years ago I would have been. So maybe 15. Fuck, I can't. Time fucking flies with a dog.
It does.
And that dog fucking was the sweetest fucking thing in the world.
I love dogs so much. I actually think losing a dog. I'm not. I can't say for cats or anything. I've not had a cat, but I think losing a dog and probably pets in general is probably harder than, to me anyway, losing family like other people. Because I think it's. Generally, you can't have anything bad, like any negative emotions towards a pet.
No,
because family members can annoy you. I don't know. I can't explain. I was trying to understand.
A dog can piss you off because it pisses on the floor all the time.
But I feel like you still love it. That's just unconditional love.
Look, here's the peak interest. You will pick up a dog shit. You will not pick up a person shit.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, pick up a dog shit. I'm like, that's fine. If I pick up a human shit, I'm like, why do I want to do that?
Yeah. But
yeah, that was sad. And well, to be fair, and the irony that it was the last day I saw her was the Dua Lipa concert.
Nice. That's
bloody irony.
An awkward segue to that.
Yeah.
I went and saw Dua Lipa. I was meant to go with people because I was meant to get a date. I failed to do that. I am still single. Help me.
Did you go with anyone else or did you go by yourself?
No, because people were busy. So.
Oh. Yeah.
And I fucking hate Ticketmaster because their resale thing is shit. Because it didn't sell, and I've had 2 tickets now not sell. So, fuck that.
Yeah.
It's stupid. They also put a time limit on it. So it's stupid.
Why
would you put a time limit on a ticket resale?
But was the concert good?
Yes, it was very much enjoyable. I like Dua Lipa. I think every song that I've heard of hers is good. She's a very good performer. If I can get my phone, because I had my phone charging, because I've been using it all day. I have videos and things that I can...
Oh, wow.
It's really bad quality because you can't see it because it's on a phone and I haven't screen shared it. Yeah, no, she's very good. It was Wembley Stadium and it was packed and it was also during like 30-degree weather. So it was fucking boiling. Also, I'm not a very active dancer, so it's always annoying when people stand up in front of you and then you have to stand up and then because you don't like dancing and everyone else is because otherwise you can't see the fucking show, so you have to stand up And I
That's
feel
so
awkward
funny.
because there were a bunch of old people behind me who kept having to stand up because I stood up because then they couldn't see the show. So I was like, do I just sit down and make it so that they... And I was just like, oh.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, it's good. She's a very good performer. Yeah. And the two songs that I was like, oh yeah, she hasn't sung them. I'm sad. Which is like Houdini and other things. Well, the end thing.
Yeah.
Like the encore. So I was like, oh, thank God.
How many songs did
I
you
was
do?
Oh, like 12?
Yeah.
12 or 15? I can't remember. She did a lot. Like, a lot of them. Yeah, it went for a while, because I got there at, like, 6. And so she had 2 support acts. This always throws my brain into, like... Because I don't know music. So I don't know how popular a person is. So one of them was Elise Rose.
Generally, go on
So-
Spotify. Do you have Spotify?
I do have Spotify, but I don't use it.
I'll
We have
Google it now.
Spotify for this podcast.
Alicia Rose, right?
Elise Rose. Alessirose.
Alicia
So,
Rose.
She was good. She's 22, Dan. So
560k followers, so not that many.
yeah. So I don't know how this is the thing. I never know. And then there was another one, Dove Cameron.
Oh, Dove Cameron is actually quite popular.
Yeah. So she was there.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it was Dove Cameron. She is actually
Yeah.
she's kind of popping off at the moment. To be fair, it's
Yeah, I
mainly
guess.
for one song. So, well, she's had some songs that have had massive amounts of like her most listened to song is 745 million
Okay.
streams, which is
Oh,
a
do you
lot.
want to know really good news about streaming, Dan? For like
Go
at least
for it.
Spotify. The Sunflowers song from Into the Spider-Verse song is now the most streamed song of all time.
Really?
Yeah, like 3.8 billion views or streams or something stupid like that.
That's how. It's not even in Post Malone's top 10. liked.
Like I don't know.
Oh, there it is. There it is. It is 3.8 billion.
Yeah, there you go.
It's crazy. It's a good song, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm always surprised that it's not the one that What's Up Danger, because that's the best that's the climactic film song.
I think it's
I guess
because
it's just more chill.
yeah, you can just listen to it. Very easy. I think What's Up Danger is like it works better in the film.
It's a pump up song.
Yeah, like but whereas like Sunflower, you can just listen to on your car journey. You could listen to anywhere.
To be honest, it's the one song that I'm like, eh. In that soundtrack, I'm like, eh.
But that's
It's
not.
a good song.
But that's what goes well. It's a song that
Yeah, I know it's the most mundane shit ever. Is the one
Like-
that gets you the.
just chill, you know, relax. That's quite interesting. Though. I didn't
Yeah.
know that would be the most.
Yeah, that happened this month. So. But yeah, so anyway, going back to like these support acts, that was good. And then, if you ever want to hear a crowd of people scream so loud, go to a Dua Lipa concert and then have Charlie XCX turn up.
Oh, was it Charlie XCX?
Yeah, she turned up as like for one song and then fucked off. And it was like-
Which song was it?
it was also the shittest song in the concert, so I'm not gonna lie.
Was it
didn't
Guess?
care. I have no fucking clue. Because I don't know Charlie XCX. It was one of her songs. And it was a rap song, so... It
was a rap song?
I don't know. I don't know. It felt like they were rap. I don't know music.
Was it about her
So-
underwear?
I was not paying attention.
Okay.
I tuned out.
I imagine
I
it
don't-
was
I-
because that's her most popular song, which I really hate. It's a really shit song.
Fuck knows. I don't hate Charlie XCX. She does a song with The Lonely Island, which is really good. Where it's basically a parody song. Hang on, let me get it up. Because I can't remember the name. Do 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 do. Where's their YouTube channel? Do 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 do. They have a podcast, so. Do 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 do. Where is it? Ugh. Hang on. Oh god. Where is it?
Oh, performing
There we go.
360.
Here I go.
I don't know. I don't know which one 360. What song's that? Apparently, she performed the song 360. I can't be. I gotta be honest. I don't actually know what.
I'd heard none of the songs apart from Dua Lipa's, so I could not tell you anything. But yeah, the Charlie XCX song that she's in with Dua, the Lonely Island, pretty good. That's the only song, but that's a parody. So, but that's got a good beat. And that one song where she did it with Iggy Azalea. I think that's the only Charlie XCX songs I've ever listened to. So.
Oh, that Charlie XX. I just listened to it now. It's a TikTok song, basically.
Okay.
It got really famous on TikTok.
Don't use TikTok.
Yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I tuned out because I
don't blame
didn't
you.
care. But oh my fucking god, my eardrums burst when she turned up because everyone fucking screamed like crazy.
To be fair, she's really popular.
I know. I don't blame. Like I'm sure she's very talented. I
think.
Just don't.
Does she have more? This is no. Dua Lipa's still higher, but by quite a margin. But yeah.
I feel like Dua Lipa's more casual for a lot of
people. To be fair, Dua Lipa is number 20 in the world.
She's very talented. I think she is like the only artist who's mainstream that I've liked every song that she's released that I've heard. So, and that's like a very high, because like there's other people who I'd like go and watch and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I don't love that song, I don't like that song or whatever. But every song that I've heard of hers, I'm like, yeah, I would listen to this.
Charlie XDX is English?
I guess so. I thought Dua Lipa was English.
Dua Lipa is English, but I didn't, because I just googled it because I was like, I thought Charlie XCX was American. But no, she's from England. That's probably why she showed up.
I guess. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wish I had someone to go with.
Yeah, sorry. I was meant to go there and then...
No, you weren't. You were meant to go with your girlfriend if I couldn't go for it.
Well, yeah, I was still meant to go there. That's my point.
I was never expecting you to turn up.
I actually really was wanted to. But, oh well.
Yeah, I'm sure you did, but you then decided to book yourself.
No, my partner.
Another thing.
My partner did her she had a baking business. She didn't realize the date, and she booked a cake collection at 3 p.m. Because she's a home baker, so she makes cakes for a living.
You've not put the website or anything in the description, so people can't.
Well, it's not nationwide delivery; it's collection only.
You can still put it. It
also has my address on it, so I'm not going to say that to the whole world.
Sure, if you think our podcast is that popular.
Hey, there's probably a bot somewhere that's going to DDoS me. Or not DDoS, what's it called? Doxing, that's the word. Dox me.
You're expecting to, when you're streaming next time, you're going to get swatted?
Yeah, probably. Why not? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did not enjoy the heat, though.
No.
Oh, this fucking heat wave or whatever the fuck. I don't know why people still deny climate change.
Apparently, the Met Office said the UK is expected to have 40-degree long month heat waves.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
Yeah, we are not prepared for that. I will be buying more
air
conditioners.
We're going to die. We're going to melt.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Like, the amount our roads cannot take the heat.
They're just going to melt.
Yeah. We're not designed for this shit. Like, you think how many wildfires we're going to get? Like, I think there was a wildfire recently, wasn't there?
Yeah, but most wildfires aren't caused by heat.
No, but they're also... Because it's dried out shit. So that's what
yeah, but it's caused by other people doing something stupid, like putting a barbecue in the middle of fucking nowhere.
You don't think the UK is going to do that? Because as soon as the sun comes
will
out,
do
people
that.
cut... Like,
also, I don't understand that, because disposable barbecues are so shit. They're literally the shittest thing. Like, it's not even a proper barbecue. The whole point of a barbecue is the lid. The lid gives the flavour and the juices.
But Dan, it's easy.
I actually made...
The UK...
for Father's Day this year, I went to my parents' house and I made the barbecue. And my first
Right.
ever barbecue I did. And honestly, it is the best burger I have ever had on a barbecue. And it's because I actually closed the fucking lid. I get passionate about this. It annoys me.
Fair one.
People don't close
I'm
the
lazy.
lid.
I also have a barbecue, but mine's rusting, so.
Yeah.
Because the cover fucked off in one of the windstorms that we had in the UK. And then I never got another one because I couldn't be asked, and I hate that barbecue so much.
Talking about fires, I actually watched the Grenfell documentary this month. It came out like last week or something on Netflix. And that was quite interesting. Well, to be fair, it made me feel a lot better about my dead dog.
Because people died?
Well, perspective, because... Well, it sounds mental, but I know Grenfell happened 8 years ago now, because it was 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, June 14th, 2017.
Yeah, so 8 years ago, which is mental. And I don't know, it's kind of weird. I always knew it was bad, and I remember seeing on the news, but it didn't really hit me, I think, how bad it was. I didn't actually see that much footage. I only saw the aftermath of it.
To be honest, I'm only aware of it. I don't actually think I've ever looked into it.
So, yeah, watching the documentary gave me a new perspective. And it's honestly, it's so bad as a disaster. Because these people, they were all trapped up there. And then the whole thing started because the city council didn't like what the building looked like in a rich area.
Right.
So then because of the...
Because it's affordable. It was like...
It wasn't council. It wasn't affordable. It was just a apartment block that was built in the 1970s. But it was basically built entirely out of concrete. And you've got all these... So it was in Chelsea, Kensington. So
Lancaster,
quite a...
Estate?
I don't know, but I don't know too much about it.
Well, I'm looking at the Wikipedia things.
Yeah, it all started because... Basically, the city council wanted to drive the house prices up, and the way to do that was to actually make Grenfell look nicer. So what they decided to do was put cladding on the outside. And for cladding, there's a very dangerous material called polyethylene cladding. And what it is 2 sheets of aluminium with a bit of polyethylene plastic in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. But why that's really dangerous is because polyethylene is highly combustible. And when you put 2 sides of aluminium on either side, it means you cannot put it out. So they used that because it was the cheapest one they could find to cut costs. And the people selling it knew how dangerous it was. They knew how bad it was because it is so dangerous, that cladding, to put on high-rise buildings.
Yep.
And essentially the government would refuse to put new regulations in place just to prevent this cladding being put on buildings. And the people testing it faked the tests to try to make more money. It's like 5 people's faults for what happened. And actually watching the video, I think the fire started on the 9th floor, and within 5 minutes it was on the top floor.
Yeah.
It just went up straight away. And watching the videos again, you'd literally see molten plastic just dripping off the building. And all the residents, because it's a flat, high-rise, there's a policy to stay put, wait for the police to rescue you.
Right.
Because, well, the idea behind that is, if it's in a massive concrete structure, it's really hard for the fire to spread.
Yeah.
So it's actually safer for the residents to stay put and not go near the blazes because they're safer in their own flat than they are to go down. But because how bad the fire was, because the protocol wasn't there for this kind of cladding structure, everyone was told to stay put and don't leave. Even though they should have left as fucking soon as that fire hit, they found that fire. As soon as they hit the cladding, they should have just got the fuck out because that's the only way they were going to save. And I literally, I saw pictures of videos of it, and the hallways, people who were trying to escape, was just black smoke. And the type of polyethylene plastic, it puts you to sleep straight away as soon as you smoke it, as you breathe it in. So 72 people died, and yeah, no one's been arrested, but they've done the inquiry now. So they've only finished the inquiry, I think, last year.
8 years later.
Yeah, so they did say they're likely going to arrest some people, put them in jail, but they don't know who it will be yet.
I mean, they got away for it for 8 years.
It's a really difficult one to pin down.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I feel like as long as people get like, it's a very
It sucks, but
it's a really it's a really annoying thing about a legal system is you have to do it right to like get a good result.
Because you've got to isolate whose fault is it.
Yeah.
And truth is, it's loads of people's fault, but you know, David Cameron's are one of them. But you know, him saying he doesn't want to put regulations in, it's not. You can't argue that's illegal. You know, you can't say that I directly killed somebody because of it. Or even manslaughter case, it's much harder to justify. But to be fair, it wasn't actually necessarily David Cameron. I think it was actually more the Secretary of State. To be fair, it was David Cameron in the sense of he had the policy of two out, one in, so they wouldn't put any new regulations unless he got rid of two others.
David Cameron
which
just
was
loves
fucked.
fucking the UK, so
yeah,
it's
that's
fine.
right. But I think it was more to do with like the Secretary of Building Regulations or something, because he was more in charge of it and he just didn't want to listen. He didn't even even during the hearing he was like, "Oh yeah, 96 people died," which isn't true because that's a different disaster. Because these kind of people don't see different disasters; they just don't care.
It's a number on a spreadsheet. It's not an actual
exactly.
physical
They don't
thing.
care. But yeah, honestly,
Like,
it put things in perspective and made me feel a lot better about my situation. But honestly, it was a really good documentary. I highly recommend checking it out to anyone who wants to watch it.
Nice.
Do you have a segue?
No. I mean, the guy... Okay, here's the thing. Here's a segue. The guy who owned Segway, or was one of the leaders of Segway, died falling off a cliff on a Segway.
Brilliant. And on that, though, I watched another documentary about a rich business owner who died.
Mm-hmm.
The Titan submersible documentary.
Oh, yeah. I was going to watch that. Because I find that situation funny. Which is sad.
It's fucking I didn't realise quite how bad it was.
Because
in terms of like
imploded.
Don't get me wrong, I understand the aftermath, but how it got to that point is fucking mental.
Oh yeah, I know a lot about it because I was watching up to the point.
Do you know how many successful dives they had?
None.
They managed to, I think it was 48 or 47 times. It worked. It was literally a ticking bomb, and on the last one, because they have acoustic monitoring, they heard all of the fibers like snapping as they were descending. Well, I say it was the owners, only Stockton Rush, because no one else wanted to go in it. They were like, "This is fucking mental. Why are you going in it?" And it was like, "Oh, it's fine."
Because it's carbon fiber. They put carbon fiber,
which was mental. That never should be down there ever.
Also, it was old aeroplane carbon fiber, I think. So
it was, but I don't think that was the reason why it failed. I think that was
but it's not. It's not. It's designed for a completely different pressurization.
Oh yeah. It was.
So it's like also it's used. So
the crazy thing is, actually Boeing. Boeing was designing the original one, and they basically kept saying to him like, "This is not possible." They kept saying, "This, what you want to do is not possible. You cannot do this." Yeah. And then the owner was like, "Nah, I don't believe you." And I didn't realize he was good on talk shows and everything. And he was just saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm a pioneer. I'm gonna be like Elon Musk and everything. I'm like Jeff Bezos. I'm gonna transform the ocean industry." Fucking nut job.
Well, and like Elon Musk, a nut job. You've seen this robo-taxis have just been causing havoc.
And I think one of the other like final nail in the coffin was when the designers who said it, because people were designing it. They weren't comfortable designing it, but they did design it. And the number one thing they said to him said, "You are not allowed to put it in temperatures below 0, because if water gets in that and freezes, it will crack entirely, and you will not get anywhere near." And that's what they did the winter before they tried going on the Fatal One. They left it out and froze. It wasn't even. It was under some tarpaulin. It wasn't even a warehouse. It was fucking crazy. And
I think also the guy completely just ignored regulation and stuff like
absolutely.
that. Yeah, it's been a while since because I haven't refreshed myself because all of this happened 2 years ago, a year ago.
2023, yeah.
June 2023, Dan. So, hey, look, June's been a good year.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But yeah, so 2 years ago, basically, And yeah, so I was watching all the shit about it after that, and it was just like, holy shit, this guy's a fucking idiot. The worst part is that kid who, the dad who brought his son along, and his son didn't really want to go, but he was like, his dad's excited about it, so he went for his dad, and then just fucking died because some rich billionaire was like, I want to just do something stupid.
They also had a YouTuber on there because he was actually meant to go on a dive before that one.
Did you see Mr. Beast was like, I was going to go on that.
Well, a lot of people were going to go on it.
I don't think Mr. Beast was ever.
Well, Mr. Beast.
I would have loved it if Mr. Beast went on it, then we wouldn't have to deal with Mr. Beast.
But there was a YouTuber that was, when I say was going to go on it, he was in it. He did go in the Titan one, but because they were there, they couldn't dive. He would have died because that was
anyone who went in it would have died.
Well, no, like, the fatal one. I mean,
he could have died earlier. Yeah,
but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's crazy how blinded by just like I hate the I think it's Silicon Valley like tech bro billionaire approach to I'm gonna come in and all of these rules and regulations I'm gonna throw them out the window because I know better. And it's like, no, bro. Most of the time those regulations are built on the backs of people dying.
Like regulations, like, for the most part, are there for a reason. Like, there's usually two reasons why regulations are there. Number one is public safety. Number two is financial gain. Yeah. And number three is just kind of like what's
common sense.
Well, not so common sense, but I was going to say like country bureaucracy, where it's like different country rules because they like making things fucking difficult. America.
We won't talk about America, even though America's very busy in this month.
Fuck yeah, there's a lot of bad news, and let's not cover too much. It's been a shit month, but yeah,
it's been a No.
Should I go through my last documentary as well?
Yeah, go for it.
So on the nautical theme, I watched Poop Cruise, which is another new documentary came out this month, and I do remember this happening a while back, but I kind of forgot about it. And it was to do with the Carnival Triumph. How they had a fire on board in the engine bay. And the fire was so ferocious, it burned through all the power cables.
Okay.
Which means it is impossible to restart any generators. Which meant they were just stuck in the middle of the ocean with no power.
Yeah.
And there was like 3,000 passengers on board. And yeah, they kind of just stuck. They had like a satellite phone. So they were trying to get, like some tugboats, put them into shore. And then they got the tugboats out. And then they went to the wrong location because they didn't realize, but they had basically drifted because of the bad weather. The ocean just drifted it away. So originally they were meant to go into Mexico, I think.
Right.
And yeah, they basically had to cancel those tugboats and then go into the US. And there's these 3,000 passengers who were stuck on the cruise for 3 days without any energy. And I don't know if you know this, but toilets on cruise ships are different to normal toilets.
Yes, I did know about this.
Yeah, so people who don't know, they're vacuum toilets.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they entirely rely on electricity to work. Which meant for 3 days, for 3,000 passengers, there was no working toilets. Which meant people were pissing in showers in the darkness because there's no light, and they had to shit in red plastic bags. And what happened was when they had the tugboats, for 3 days, everything was building up, not being emptied, and the tugboats just pulled the ship sideways, and it meant all the shit just emptied out the drains and was just draining down all the walls of the Carnival cruise ship. And the estimated damage, I think, was like $100 billion or something.
Yeah, cruise ships are like
fucking
one of those
mental.
crazy things. Yeah.
And because they had to refund everyone, they also gave everyone a free cruise ship, and they also had to cancel everyone's next cruises for the 6 months, and then they also had to do all the repairs on it.
Yeah.
It was absolutely fucking mental expenditure because of it.
Cruise ships are one of those things that I don't understand in terms of a holiday. I get it. You're on the ocean, but you spend most of it. I imagine a lot of people spend most of it just indoor. It's an old person thing.
I think it depends on how you view cruises, because there's actually different types.
Yeah, well, there's the Disney ones, which I'm sure a lot of people love.
So Carnival cruises is a bit more party-like, where people will literally just be dancing on deck. They have it's basically a full-on party for 4 days. Where people are just drinking, food everywhere. It's just a party. That's what it is.
The thing I always know about cruises are they're hotbeds for stomach problem diseases and things like that, because it's raw shrimp and stuff like that, and so people get salmonella or the cooking conditions can sometimes fuck up, so people, and then as the documentary thing is, the toilets always give out sometimes. So,
yeah, it's quite common that some of the toilets will break, but
and the smell, and the thing that I always hear about cruises is because cruises have the demographic I feel tends to err on the side of older people. They have morgues, because a lot of the time old people just die on the cruise and they have to store them somewhere. So
yeah, I mean, I think
it's a weird thing, because I think there's just been multiple cases of there's just been a dead person on the ship, in a lounger, and you're oh, and then you just see a bunch of people just go over, shuffle them away, and try and not cause a disturbance. It's one of those things where you're just oh, okay, yeah.
So I've actually been on 6 cruises, and I think not in terms of old people or anything, but the biggest highlight of it is not having to think about anything. And when I say not to think about anything, because all the food is there, and there's different restaurants. It's not just one restaurant. There's a lot of choice for food, and there's so much to do for entertainment. You're never bored on a cruise ship, because you've got cabaret shows, game show nights, quizzes.
They're massive.
Bingo.
This is the thing I like to, because with all of the shit going on in America with the government, this is my point of argument for. I don't think people understand how much shit goes on in a thing. Because I like to go, how many people do you reckon work on a cruise ship?
Yeah.
And you're the captain, a couple crew members.
No, it's
and then
so
most people kind of bail
more.
out. And then you're no, comedians, cabaret people, organizers. There's just so many things to run it, because it's basically a floating city.
Yeah, I think it's
modern cruise ships are basically
one staff to 2.5 people, I think.
So, yeah, something like that. One person to, and you think how many people go on it, and then you're oh, right, yeah, fuck, that's a lot of people. But people go, oh yeah, it's probably maybe 1,000. No, it's several thousand.
Well, no, it is 1,000. It's most cruise ships. Well, the ones I've been on, normally it's 1 to 2.5. So if it's 1,700 crew, so 1,700 passengers, you have about 700 staff.
Hang on.
I think Carnival Cruises
2.3. So 1 crew member for every 2 to 3.5 passengers. So 1,200 to 3,000.
Yeah, it depends on the cruise ship.
Yeah. So you think that many people for just 3,000, and then you scale that up to how many people there are.
Yeah, because there are some cruise ships that are fucking massive. They're fucking huge.
Yeah, but you scale that up to a government level of running an entire town or something.
Yeah,
you got to have a lot of people. And
the weird thing is, I actually think cruise ships are probably run a lot better than most countries.
Probably. Because even then, they're probably still getting fired and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to go on a cruise, but I think I'd hate it.
I don't know. It depends on what you want on a holiday, I guess. I don't think you can hate a cruise. I'm not going to say you'll find it as the best holiday.
I think I'd enjoy it, but I don't think it would be the thing.
Yeah,
I'd be it depends on who I went with, because I think if I went with just some people, it'd be what are we doing? It would have to be one of those ones where you're just going to other countries and then you get off for a day and then go on it. And
well, from my experience, I've not been on too many holidays, but the cruises I've been on had one day at sea, the rest of the days in port. So for the most part, you were still actually traveling out and about, exploring the local area. I've found that cruises are a much more enjoyable holiday than a land package holiday. So if it's like I don't know, like a hotel or something, that's like a swimming pool and it's like all inclusive, whatever. I guess, found cruise ships are much better than those, but for me personally, I prefer like city breaks, like going to explore myself and creating my own.
I think the idea of a cruise ship where everything is just there is an appealing concept to me. They're just
too much money.
Too many. Yeah, they're too expensive for what they are to me.
Yeah, that's what I find.
I think I would also hate being with people on it.
Well, I've not been recently, but the last few times, there is a lot of people, but the ship is fucking massive. You're not.
Yeah, but it's also I feel like, because for me it's like I don't like sharing a room with people. So.
Well, you don't have to share a room with people. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but then it becomes more expensive.
It does. Yeah.
So I feel like if I'm gonna be spending a bunch of money, I'm also gonna try and be cheap as possible.
Well,
so I'd be like Jack in Titanic rather than Rose.
As the documentary said, there's a lot of sex on a cruise ship, so you might actually.
Yeah, it's old people sex.
Well, I think it's just generally. I think it doesn't matter what age you are. There's just you're around for 4 days with no one else.
Yeah, the sea also makes
2
people
weeks.
rowdy for some reason.
I think there's something about it.
This sea legs, semen legs. It's all good.
I don't think it's sea. I think it's travel. Because it's been a thing on trains as well.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Motion in the ocean. There we go.
Yeah, don't know what it is. It's just as soon as I think it's because you know.
What is it with?
Just you're not meant to do it. And as soon as you're not meant to do it,
it's like the Mile High Club. Like you're not meant to be fucking in a bathroom.
To be fair, I've never understood that. I was like, why would you want to do that?
I think in first class it would be fun.
I mean, it sounds like, other than just doing it for the sake of it, it doesn't actually sound like a good experience.
No. Well, this is one of those things where, because it's like sex in space. I don't think anyone's had sex in space.
That you know
but, well, that's what. Well, I'm sure NASA is.
Astronauts are up there for 6 months.
Yes, but they're also monitored heavily. So
true, but it's 6 months.
I would find it really interesting because they've got to jack off, right?
That's what I was thinking. Surely,
because like even if you're not having sex, you've got to be able to jack off somewhere. But like, if you accidentally don't hold it or don't do it properly or don't wear like,
how do you sleep in space?
You stand up. It's
you're not actually standing
you
up.
Basically, no, it is standing up. I think you're basically just strapped into a thing standing up. So, oh no, you get strapped basically standing like flat. You have to be basically strapped down. Yeah, there you go. They sleep standing up. They basically get strapped to a wall. Yeah. Because otherwise you're just floating around.
We heard that the ISS, they're going to crash it soon.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, they're planning on crashing it, I think, in 2031.
Hopefully they get all the people off.
Well, no, it will be, but... they had
those people stuck up in space for ages.
It's not like they have to crash it. They want to crash it.
Why? It's doing all right.
No, it's really old. It's really old.
I guess.
It was meant to only last 15 years, and it went up in like 1995.
I always find it interesting about how they're like, oh yeah, it will only last this long, and then they're always surprised by how long they last.
I think it's just getting... It's because of obsolescence, and the parts needed to repair it don't exist anymore and are really hard to come by. So that's the reason they want to get rid of it, because it's so old in terms of technology.
Oh yeah, and they probably want to make a better one. Elon Musk.
They do, but they I know SpaceX has the contract for it.
Obviously.
Well, for ages it was
rockets have been blowing up.
For ages it was Russia.
I guess because it's a joint venture, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's international. It's not actually owned by.
Yeah. I know. I forget. because British people have been up there as well.
Everyone's been, yeah. But, yeah.
I forget about that.
Anything else you've done
I
this
like
month?
how... Not really. I watched a video about how gacha games... there's one that are like all the Chinese and South Korean ones try to pretend to be Japanese with the Japanese aesthetic.
What?
And it's basically a video explaining like how, because Japan basically sold itself on like anime,
Yeah.
and it basically dragged Japan back out of the brink of like bankruptcy and things like that, and that they basically got a soft power. Do you know what soft power is?
No.
Soft power is basically a cultural power. So like in terms of like a visual or something that gets people excited and you can commodify it. So like America's got Hollywood, they've got like LA, like all of these things that you associate with America.
Yeah.
And UK, you associate things with UK. And like for Japan, you associate Japan with anime and tech and things like that.
And
so that's
sushi.
like soft power. Yeah, it's like a what you think the country is and like why people want to go to your country. Like tourism, basically. It's like political. Because also, like Canada, soft power is that people think they're nice. It's
Yeah.
like that sort of thing. It's like not a political thing. It's basically just people's perception of your country, basically. And so, like, the biggest, like, gacha games, like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, are Chinese developed,
Yeah.
but they appear Japanese because China is siphoning off of Japan's credit, so people associate China with Japan.
Yeah.
So it's basically how much of this is true? It's basically just it's a very good intro. It's a video like 2 hours 15 minutes, and it basically goes through the history of like China and Japan and like how these events basically came into being, and like the history of anime and the Chinese cartoons and like the origin of anime basically,
Yeah.
and like how people's perception of Japan became anime, and then the K-pop sensation. So like Korean pop,
Yeah.
basically was an offshoot of J-pop, which is Japanese.
Oh,
pop.
really?
Yeah, and it's like how Korea basically went and got K-pop because of Japanese pop, and like got into the Western market basically through Korean pop music, because they copied Japan as how Japan got into like the Western market through like J-pop and anime and things like that. And so if you look at they have a little dig at Arcane, because Tencent, which is a Chinese-owned company, owns all of League of Legends.
Yeah.
So like that is an advertisement for China, because it is trying to get you to play League of Legends, which is a Chinese game, basically.
Right.
Well, it's not, because League of Legends is based in the US, but it's like, this is like cultural shift of like how you view a country. And it's like how Russia and all of these countries like struggle with image, and so like how you shift the public perception of your country so that people want to, like Saudi Arabia, and making it an entertainment place. Because like,
Yeah,
for years-
Saudi. It's a bit mental, isn't it? Like the stuff they do.
Yeah, so hang on, let me
Dunno.
just try and find the definition of soft power, because so a persuasive approach to international relations, typically involving the use of economic or cultural influence. So it's basically your culture rather than your actual power, so like your army or anything like that. It's just basically what your culture influences the rest of the world. So America's got quite a lot of soft power, UK's got some soft power, Canada and that, and like how just the world is perceived by your, like,
Yeah.
why people would want to go to your country, and buy your shit basically. So like, you think the UK for years had the standard of ultra high quality products, doesn't have it as much now, but that's soft power. It's like how people perceive your like thing. But yeah, it was very interesting. The channel was Moon Channel, if people want to check it out. They do a lot of stuff based on like anime, and like how like how people keep leaking government documents to War Thunder.
Yeah.
Because in because the game has publicly available stats, right? So people are like, oh well, I've played this game and it's not accurate, and they really enjoy it. So they give government secret documents because they want to argue that this tank or this thing should be better in the game because they know what it's like. And like I think 42 cases or something like that have been sent to like people trying to get game publishers to put realistic things because people play the game. It's just weird. And then there was also the Power World lawsuit that Nintendo did, and the sort of the real reason why Nintendo did that. And that basically boiled down to because Nintendo does sue a lot of people for like intellectual property rights, but like what they did was gameplay mechanic copywriting.
Yeah.
So not intellectual copyright where they like, because copyright is so difficult to argue in a court of law. No, actually, no. I think it's quite easy to. I can't remember I can't remember which way around it is. I think patents, because you technically own the patent, you can. It's easier to. I think it's harder to win a patent case than it is to win a copyright case.
Yeah, so patents, they're more like actual physical things.
Yeah.
Whereas copyright is more like intellectual property.
Yeah. But it basically, I think the conclusion of the video was basically the whole reason Nintendo is doing it is because Power World got bought, Sony bought into Power World. And it basically boiled down to the rivalry that Sony and Nintendo have had for years since Nintendo basically backed out of the Nintendo deal between Sony and PlayStation. And it basically goes into like the cultural things of like Japanese companies.
Yeah.
So Japanese companies basically hold a grudge. Basically, like if you fuck over a company, they will hold that grudge for years, no matter what, and it's all basically petty. And because Sony, like the Nintendo's perspective, which I think a lot of people don't actually know, is Sony tried to partner with Nintendo, I think because they want to eventually buy Nintendo.
Yeah.
Similar to what Microsoft did in the past. And Nintendo didn't want that. But because Sony had like massive like situations where they'd already tried to swallow up other companies, Nintendo backed out of it and went with Philips, who they thought were a safer bet to not try and buy them up or whatever. I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched the video. If you want to watch it, it's on that guy's channel. It's 53 minutes. It's quite an interesting take because it gives you a different perspective of that Sony Nintendo breakdown of like what happened from a different viewpoint. And then it basically boiled down to, because Sony got a Pokemon-like game on their platform, it gave Sony the option to promote and sell like toys and things that would then slowly cut away at Nintendo's Pokemon. And if like parents perceived Pokemon as Power Worlds and they bought their kids Power World toys, that's taking money away from Nintendo's big market of toys.
Yeah.
And that it's basically the boiling down of like the reason why they're suing over that rather than like copyright is because they have the patents, and it's like it's a harder thing to win, but it would set a massive precedent against like this sort of thing in the I do a terrible job. The guy does a very good job at explaining it. If anyone
it's probably other way round, is it? I don't know.
Probably. I'm probably butchering it. But
patents are more about
it's hard. Yeah.
It's more about inventions. Patents are about how you.
Yes.
It's like basically an idea on how you make something, which you don't own for. Yes. You only own for 20 years. You can't own a patent longer than that. Copyright you can own forever though. So copyright.
It's got a set. No, copyright does have a set date. It's just no. It's like I think it's like 100 years. But that was because Walt Disney basically extended it for as long as he could fucking do it. And also you can re-establish. I think there's a video on the dude's channel about it.
Yeah, I think copyright's harder to win because you have because copyright's all to do with artistic traits, so you have to basically prove that they copied that work for malicious intent. Does that make sense? Whereas patents is a lot easier to prove because it's like, well, you've made it in the exact way that the patent says, and you've not paid for it.
But yeah, no. The channel's really good. I think a lot of their videos are really well researched and stuff like that. There's speaking of Pokemon, there's one that's basically on who owns Pokemon, because there's like 3 different companies who, like, because there's Game Freak who make it, Nintendo, and then there's like another Nintendo subsidiary, and it's like how all of that works and how like Nintendo basically fucked over Game Freak, I think, to basically own all of it.
Copyright lasts 70 years after the life of the author.
Yeah. So, but I think you can extend it, can't you?
Well, generally.
Because Walt Disney died. Because he died in 1966. So how long ago is that?
About 70 years ago.
Yeah. So
well, less than
Mickey
70
Mouse
years,
was. Yeah, but Mickey Mouse was created when?
Well, it lasts basically after the death.
Yeah, but
so,
it's...
because he died about 70 years ago, it's probably gone.
1928, so yeah. But I think, yeah. So yeah, because Mickey Mouse basically came... Yeah, 95-year-long love triangle between Disney and public domain, because that was 2024. It happened last year that he became... At least the original version of Mickey Mouse, which is like the Steamboat... But because the modern version of Mickey Mouse is still under copyright. It's just that original... You can make it that black and white Mickey Mouse. You can't do Mickey Mouse with the gloves and the red trousers and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because it's their in use copyright. Because it's like the Winnie the Pooh thing. Because all the people... Winnie the Pooh, the book became copyright or whatever it is. That version of it. But Disney's version is different. So Disney's got a different copyright on that. So that's why all of like the horror movie things with Winnie the Pooh, he doesn't wear the red shirt. It's just basically a bear who's yellow or whatever the fuck it is, or something. I can't remember. But there's some weird legal loophole, because like Sherlock Holmes is public domain and all of that. But I think copyright is such a weird thing.
Yeah.
I think there's a video on the guy's channel about copyright. But yeah, that's basically all I've done really this year or month.
Cool. I've got a couple of more things.
Go for it.
I went to... Well, my mate hosted a outdoor cinema screening. So
Nice.
he's bought like a projector basically, and we watched a film outdoors, and we watched Crazy Stupid Love. It's the first time I watched it. It's a rom-com with Ryan Gosling, Steve Carell, Emma Stone, and I forget what the other woman's called.
Leo Tipton? Joey King?
Should be King in it.
Apparently.
Maybe she's the child. Did it come out a while ago?
Julianne Moore?
Might be it.
Marissa Tomei's in it?
It's got quite a big cast, and honestly, it's really good. There's another film that's got that one made me chuckle a few times. I wouldn't say like laugh out loud hysterically, but it's actually it's American comedy. Yeah, so
sure. Did take a dig at all our Americans out there. Do you know America is like one of our highest listener count there?
Yeah, well, that's because we're funny.
I mean,
we're British.
Yeah, well, Americans don't like British humor that much. That's why they remake all our shows.
Yeah.
Butcher them.
Well, so the reason why I brought it up, I know my partner really wanted to watch it with me, but because she had a cake order, she couldn't come and see with me at this cinema screening. So I ended up watching it the next day with her. So I watched it twice, back to back. But yeah, that's a good film. If you've not seen it, it is a rom-com, but I don't know if you know how much you know about it.
I know nothing.
It's a guy who...
The only reason I would watch it is because of Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling.
To be fair, I actually would recommend it. It is quite good. Basically a guy and his wife breaks up with him after like 25 years of marriage. And then he meets Ryan Gosling's character, which is basically this fuckboy who tries to teach him how to pick up women at a bar.
So it's Hitch, the Will Smith movie. Because Hollywood went through this weird phase. Because Hitch is basically a guy, like, I think, is basically the Will Smith is a pickup artist, and then he's trying to help a guy pick up a woman, and it's like
there's a lot more nuance to it. Not nuance, but there's a lot more story to it because it's not actually about. Oh, yeah. It's more about the relationship, and there's a lot of other
sadness.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not seeing Hitch. Maybe it's the exact same film.
I've not watched Hitch. I just know of Hitch because it's basically as soon as you said a guy who's a pickup artist trying to help another bloke get it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the premise of Hitch, isn't it?
Maybe I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Yeah. So that's that one. And the last.
So is that going to be a weekly event or monthly event where you go around and watch a movie?
Probably not, because another life event. There's been redundancies at my workplace.
Oh no!
So this guy, who
you'll go full-time streaming.
Well, he took
making so many podcasts.
He took voluntary redundancy, and he's going to move back to his parents for the time being, but they live in another country.
Oh.
So probably won't be. Maybe one more. Yeah.
So you didn't get laid off then?
Well, they've only done voluntary at the moment.
They're doing the America approach where they go, hey, look, you can get paid redundancy, but we're just going to gut your job later on anyway.
Well, to be fair, at one point, my mindset... I found out when I was on holiday. Also, quick side note, I went to Centre Parks for the first time this year.
Nice.
And I don't know if
I was thinking of organising a Centre Parks thing.
Let's do it. Why not? It's so much fun. There's so much fun. Although I would say it's worth making all the food at home because it's so expensive to eat out there, and it's not good food. That is so expensive. Fair. It's like 22 quid a main course, and it's like £7 a pint, so it's £7.25. To be fair, you're probably used to that. London prices. I'm not used to that. But honestly, the Rapids, so much fun. A quick side note before I get back onto the redundancies. Me and my partner, we were going down the Rapids, and you saw everyone else go down it, and they went down quite smoothly. I mean, it's a Rapids, but it kind of kept the head above water the whole time, especially a lot of the women, like full face of makeup, the hair all nice. Looked fine at the end of it. Me and my partner, completely opposite. They're absolutely getting chucked around fucking left, right, and centre. It says go down each slide feet first. Apart from I went down feet first, but then it just kind of rotated me anyway. So in my head, it ended up going down first. At each of it, we kept getting stuck in current pools, like little current traps, where we're going around in circles, and everyone else is just going by past us. And then at one point, I'm there. I'm just trying to pull my girlfriend out of it. I'm trying to swim her down. And then I ended up going flying down. I look up and she's gone missing. I think she's drowning in this like little riptide thing, and she's just going around spinning in a circle, like further up. And then went down another slide, and it went into the lazy river. And then I didn't. It's quite strong. It was quite hard to get out without knowing how to get out in the first place because I didn't know how you get in. So I ended up in it, and I was like, oh, shit. So I went on twice, and I was like, all right, cool. And then after that, my partner wanted to go in with me, and went, all right, cool. So we did it again. And then after that, to get out, you have to basically grab hold of this rope, which she did, and then she kicked me back in again. So I did another round trip.
Nice.
But honestly, yeah, Centre Park's really fun. We should do it.
I'll bring my girlfriend.
Redundancies.
Oh, wait.
We do a boys trip to
boys fuckfest where we
fuckfest. I'm not fucking each other. What the fuck?
It's mostly boys. Yeah, that's every boy thing.
You can get like a treehouse.
I'm sure you can get a lot of things, Dan.
No, but like we could get a treehouse between all of us. I think it's like £2,000 or something. But if there's enough of us, we could probably not each. It's like to the treehouse. Yeah, so I found out about the redundancies when I was on holiday.
Nice.
So I had like, it was just fucking dumb as fuck. So I had a lot of time to think about it, and the day before going into work, I kind of convinced myself that I was going to take it, to context, it's about 6 months' salary pay.
Right.
So it's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 6 months after tax.
Right.
So it's quite good. So I basically convinced I was going to take it, and then throughout kind of my realizing, I kind of realized I think it's unlikely my job will be made redundant anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
how easily replaceable are you by AI?
Not really at all.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've tried using AI. It can't do what the fuck what I'm trying to do. It can do.
That's not stopped people before, Dad.
It just doesn't work. I think the more concerning part is I think they want to sell the company because the profits are up, which doesn't make sense to why you would make people redundant if profits are up. And there's a lot of projects coming out in the future. Are people working on these projects to make more money?
Yeah,
why would you make the redundancies now?
Work, Dan. Do you not know? You sell high and you dump everything afterwards.
Well, that's my point. Like,
who gives a shit?
It feels like they're making redundancies. So because the owner also passed away last year, so it's now gone to the kids now, who probably don't want the company and probably just want the paycheck.
Oh yeah.
So I reckon that's what's happening. So I don't know. My mindset reason for not taking it is I actually like my job, and I don't want to go to somewhere that I don't like.
Well, someone who left a year ago is coming back to my work. So
well, there you go. See,
because they hated their job. Yeah.
And that's why I didn't take it.
Well, they didn't. They left on their own accord, and they didn't get fired. They just went, I hate this job, I'm going to go and do a better job. And then they hated that job, and then they went and did something else, and they hated that job. Yeah. And then, because the last year of my work has been very quiet, and they realized, oh shit, we basically fucked up because we over-ordered stuff last year, but then this year we've under-ordered. And now we need to build it back up again. So all the overtime's been back, which is fun for me, because I did 3 weeks of just straight 10-hour shifts and then weekends 8-hour shifts. So
do you even get a day off for the past like?
The only day off I had was the 2 weekends that we've just had.
Yeah.
And I basically have done very long shifts for most of it. I did 72 hours of overtime.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Good money though.
Yeah, and then tax takes most of it.
Yeah.
It's because I got my bonus plus overtime this month.
Tax
for last month.
I fucking hate
and
tax.
It was like a fourth of my paycheck went to tax, and I was like, great. All that money. Basically, the bonus that I got taken, and then it's like, okay. So. But I'm like, why? And then I was like, I hope I get rebated for that because this.
Why do we a fourth? Like I say, a fourth of the whole paycheck's fucking mental unless you're on like the next tax bracket.
That's why I think, because I think it goes up to the next tax bracket because of the bonus and the overtime.
Yeah.
So I think it then gets cut. So I'm hoping that it gets rebated.
Oh, so they've assumed that you get paid that each month.
I've got paid much. Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Right, I was going to say because
I don't get paid that much.
I was going to say, like, my man's balling.
Yeah, but so I think I have to go through the process of trying to get them to rebate me some of that money. But
say, give me that London job, you know.
Yeah, it was. It's like maybe I think maybe a fifth or a fourth of my paycheck got taken. So it basically equated to like $1,000 and a bit.
I was going to say it should. I mean, if you're not in the next tax bracket, it should be less than 20%.
I'm not in the next. I'm not. I just basically went over 30K, so I'm nowhere near the next tax bracket. I would be, but yeah. So
next one's like 50K.
I've been doing a lot of work, but guess the best thing about next month is 1, it's my birthday, and 1, I'm off for a week. Normally I'd be off for 2 weeks, but I took a holiday this year, so I tried to save my holiday days. So. I will, and also there's so many movies coming out next month.
True.
You got Jurassic Park, new one. You got a new Superman movie. You got a Fantastic Four movie. I've also got to watch The Bear season 4 because that all came out this month, and then there's Ironheart as well.
I don't give a shit about Ironheart, but to be fair, I saw what the trailer of Ironheart, and there's one line that makes me not want to watch it.
Oh, that was the thing. That was what was my segue was gonna be if I'd actually watched Ironheart, which I haven't done yet. But during the Dua Lipa thing, she had a bunch of ads, and one of them was Ironheart. So I was like, what?
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's got a song in it or something. I
don't know. Probably not. Probably just.
Or it's just Disney paying fuck tons of money to be in a stadium full of people. But yeah, that was a really weird thing because I was like, I was not expecting a trailer for Ironheart at the beginning of the concert.
Yeah, so, for context, the bit that makes me not want to watch it is when I think she says like, "Oh, this is gonna be iconic" or something. As soon as I hear that, I just threw everything against the wall because I fucking hate that phrase.
But it might be iconic.
I fucking hate it. It pisses me off.
Why, Dan? It's iconic.
I can't deal with that phrase.
Oh yeah, and then there's the new season of Sandman, the final season.
Yeah, I know. Is it the final? Is it?
Yeah, because the guy got cancelled.
I'm not surprised.
The director, the writer.
Right.
The guy, Neil Gaiman?
Neil Gaiman, yeah.
Yeah. He basically, I think he's been going.
Yeah, but is cancel culture still a real thing? I feel like it's not a real thing anymore.
Well, no, because the whole...
Like, Trump's getting away with everything.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with cancel culture. It's never been really that, it sucked. Because, I don't know if you've followed any of the P. Diddy trial.
Not really, no.
So the guy is like a notorious sex pest or whatever the fuck it is, like actual abuser, sex trafficker, all of that stuff, and all of that fun things.
Did he get convicted? Sorry, Phil.
I think it's coming out.
Deliberated now.
Deliberation or something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But the main thing that people basically said was, Diddy's lawyers basically immediately were preparing to just get Donald Trump to pardon him.
Oh, really?
Apparently. Like, even if he gets convicted, they're just going to go to Donald Trump and ask him to pardon him, and because Donald Trump likes P. Diddy, he's just going to probably get away with it.
That's fucked,
so no matter what yeah, that's what I mean. I think the problem with the cancel culture mindset that I think people have immediately backtracked on is now there are no consequences to anyone doing anything.
No,
because cancel culture has now been targeted as I can get away with anything because all I have to do is play the victim of the cancel culture card, and people will come and defend me, so I can get away with anything now, and it sucks.
It's so bad.
Because you look at all of the cunts. That was the Blake Lively thing. Is the guy basically tried to paint her as trying to ruin his career because he tried to he showed her naked pictures of his wife and was really hitting on her and things like that, or just trying to I briefly did it. If you watch the Legal Eagle video that I showed earlier, that covers a lot of the legal proceedings and stuff like that. And how basically it was oh yeah, I'm gonna get ahead of this before she does, so that she looks like the thing. Then you have the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, where it became a public spectacle, and the actual problems of that relationship kind of got swamped by all the drama.
Yeah.
And it's there's no ramifications. Johnny Depp still has a career, if not slightly less damaged, but apparently Disney is considering bringing him back for the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie, even though that was never going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So it's what do we actually gain from any of this now? Oh well. What a highlight to end on.
Oh, I was just going to briefly talk about one more thing.
Go for it.
I
thought you were done.
Well, let me just burn through some things and have an end on a note. I started watching Andor. I'm only halfway through the first episode because I got busy. But my plan,
it?
Well, not. I'm
do you have an?
I'm 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Not as much as
That's how the internet works.
There's nothing to grip me yet. In the first 10 minutes. A few episodes. But that's my logic. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it the best shot, and I'm hoping that something's going to grip me, and I'll watch all of it. For some reason, this month I got really into coffee, and I bought a coffee machine, and became a Costco member. And I bought a coffee machine at Costco.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still think I've only had coffee once.
I like coffee. I do enjoy coffee.
Come around my house because I bought a coffee machine for people.
Yeah, but it's not a real coffee machine. It's shit coffee.
I don't care. I have so many packets.
So I actually have a good coffee machine, but it's beans to cup. So you put fresh beans in.
I couldn't care. They're all the same.
No, they're not. That's the point.
It's all the same. It still tastes shit.
They're so different. And I'll be honest, the ones that you have do taste shit. They taste fucking diabolical. Them. I know exactly, but that one tastes shit.
Because I'm
My
lazy
coffee tastes good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I also became a Costco member because it's a new thing for my company. I can now get a Costco membership.
Nice. I found out that my friend has put me down as his spouse on his Costco card, so that's fun.
Is that... Wait, who did that?
James.
What?
Yeah.
Is that saying you got one?
Yeah. Because I needed... Because the whole reason he got one was because of me. Because when I was working up in another city or town, I was traveling 50-minute plus journeys.
Yeah, it's the fuel, I'm guessing.
COVID. Yeah, it was fuel for COVID. Because
everything was so cheap.
Skyrocketed. Whereas Costco kept basically what the prices were before COVID. And I would have been spending a fucking fortune going to and from work. So I was like, oh, I'll get Costco membership. But then I was like, oh, you have to meet certain parameters to get one. Or have a business that gives you one. And I was like, oh, army person. My friend's in the army. I'll get him to sign up. And then I'll hoik off his extra person thing. Yeah. But then I looked, because it was all physical card and whatnot. And then there was the app. And I looked on the app like today, like a couple days ago. And I was like, oh, why am I put down as spouse? Because I thought it was like family member or spouse or something like that. I would have gone, oh, put me down as a family member.
Yeah, I was going to say, spouse is a bit weird.
So I messaged him.
Can't question it.
Trying to make the other... I was like, are you trying to make your other friend jealous? And I was like, he just put a thumbs up. I was like, yeah, okay. I don't care. It's whatever.
There you go.
I just found it funny because I was just... Go for it.
Sorry. Like I say, I watched Wallace and Gromit, the new one.
I watched that because I pirated. I didn't pirate it. I watched it on a VPN because it was on American Netflix.
Oh, did you? Well, it came on Netflix
because I don't have BBC
this week. So yeah, I watched that. And to be fair, I actually quite enjoyed that one.
I was going to mention it when I'd watched it, but I forgot.
Yeah. Like, Did you find Wallace and Gromit really creepy?
No.
No. Okay. Just claymation generally. I don't know. Maybe not these ones. More the older ones.
If you watch,
a close shave is fucking. What the fuck?
Which one's a close shave?
It's the one with the dog turning sheep into dog food or things.
Oh yeah.
That one's weird.
Yeah, no, I like the Wallace and Gromit stuff. It's very British.
It is very British. I actually watched a video for why it's creepy, and it's because there's one reason people might find it creepy is there's no people in the original ones.
Right.
So do you know the latest ones, like the townsfolk and things?
Yeah.
The original one, there's no townsfolk. They go to like coffee shops and things and walk down streets, but there's never any people.
You don't know what the backstory
Which is fucking terrifying. Well, it's because they had no money. Whereas now they do. Yeah. I think they're making more now because they have money.
Well, I don't think they are. I think they're still struggling because they're not that...
No, I think Netflix is paying towards them now as well.
I'm sure, I'm sure that helps, but...
Because they're making another one
now. I didn't like the Chicken Run sequel. That was kind of bad.
Yeah.
It was fine. It wasn't... It was just kind of boring.
I think that's kind of a story that didn't need a sequel.
No.
I much prefer new things. I think Wallace and Gromit is a bit different, though, because it's kind of... It's not really a story about Wallace and Gromit.
Rats? Is that...
Flushed Away.
Yeah, that one.
I love Flushed Away.
That one's great.
That's such a good one. The slugs. I love the slugs.
Yeah.
Final couple things.
Oh, no, I had one more thing about Wallace and Gromit. Just because... there's a video on Corridor Crew where they talk to the...
oh, yeah, I've seen this.
What's his name? Yeah, and it's basically just a breakdown of like how they did it, how the scale and all that on the new movie and everything. And it's really interesting. So if you check that out, that was...
Yeah, I think I started watching it, and then they started covering the new film, and I was like, be gone, I don't want any spoilers. I want to watch it at some point.
Yeah. Now you can go back.
So I can go back to it. So, another quick rant. I've had to sort out our water meter on a water company because we had our bill through and we were paying effectively £100 a month for water, which is fucking mental. Allegedly, we were using 700 litres per day.
Nice.
For two of us.
Yeah,
in a flat.
Yeah. You've been drinking a lot of water, Dan. It's been really hot.
Well, it turns out...
you've been sitting in the garden, pouring water on your face with the taps and the hoses.
There's a longer story to it,
filling up bathtubs.
I'll keep it short for the outcome. Yeah, long story short, we're actually paying for our neighbour's water.
Yeah, I figured.
And our flat doesn't actually have a water meter.
Right. So your neighbours...
Which is, we're trying to sort out now. And they're being a pain in the ass because they're like, oh, just find your water meter. And I'm like, you don't understand. There is no water meter attached to our property. Because you see like the little manhole that says water. There's just dirt in it. There's no meter.
Oh.
Which is why I notice our neighbours. Because the serial number for our account is down the road.
Right.
Which is how I knew it was not ours.
New builds, eh?
But we've been paying for 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years for someone else's water. It's always been expensive, and we just thought, oh, maybe we use a lot of water.
That's why you always got to pay attention to your bills, Dan.
Well, I don't know. I didn't actually notice it before.
Yeah,
but,
no, I have no clue what I'm paying for water. I'm just paying it. It's just direct debit. It's just going.
So, yeah, I don't know. We may have a lot of money return for that for 4 years.
Nice.
I don't know how they're going to back pay it because
they'll give it to you in credit and then you'll have to.
Well, yeah, but it's how much back pay is it?
Oh yeah.
How do you justify it?
How do they also work it out? They just probably do the average.
Well, I read this isn't the first time this has happened. It's quite common for it to happen in new build flats. Who would have thought? Supposedly, what they do now is they install a meter and then take next 3 months of readings, and then average it and then back pay it. But that doesn't really work because I moved in.
Don't say that.
And we sorted a baking business now, which uses more water. So, well, no, but in my opinion, the back pay would have been less technically.
Yeah, but don't let them jack it up and give it.
Don't jack it up. And final thing is a game I've been playing a lot of, and that's Rematch. I don't know if you've heard of it.
It's a football game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of Rocket League without the cars.
Yeah, it's by the people who did a game called Sifu, which was like a you're a ninja who goes through a thing and you age as you go every time you get hit or something. They're a good developer, I've heard.
But honestly, I think it could do with being free to play. It's quite expensive. It's like 21 quid. And it's not a lot to it, but it seems that the developers want to just keep posting updates.
Yeah.
And
well, did you see Marathon got delayed this year as well?
Well, probably a good thing. And I don't think even Destiny wants that.
Well, Bungie.
Sorry, that's what I meant. I think a lot of the Bungie developers don't actually want to make it.
No, apparently Bungie's management is the worst fucking thing imaginable.
Yeah.
Because I think the guy who runs it bought a bunch of cars after the Sony acquisition.
Yeah.
Classic car. And it's like, oh, okay, that's what you're spending the money on, not listening to your developers or anything like that, actually making games and changing things. Do I buy that new DLC?
Oh, which one? The Edge of Fate?
I guess. I don't
That's
even know.
The one
I just keep seeing
I'm not
advertisements.
buying it.
I haven't played Destiny in ages.
Do you know they're doing a Star Wars one?
I think that's what
No, it's not this one. It's the next one because they're doing mini ones now. So there's 2 a year they're doing mini.
I don't follow it anymore.
I think it's like Rise of Iron size. But yeah, I've not played Destiny in a year.
I'd love to, but I just don't have the time.
It's too much time.
It's more the fact that every time I go onto Destiny, I spend about an hour sorting through all my shit.
Well, I think that's this rematch game. I really enjoy Rocket League, and I know a lot of people might not enjoy this, but It's like an
I hate
arcade. It's an arcade style game.
Mm.
To be fair, you might like it. I don't know. If you've got Game Pass, you can play it on PC.
I don't have Game Pass.
But it's just kind of fun. Like it's a 5-minute game, like rounds, and you can just kind of hop in very quickly. You got like 20 minutes spare. You can just hop in, play a few rounds. It's easy. There's nothing to worry about. It's not too much stress, and don't know. It also doesn't feel massively toxic yet, which is a good feeling. Give it time; it will be. I've only had a couple of toxic encounters so far.
Nice.
But yeah,
I recommend. Get James on it.
Well, I've not actually played Rocket League since. I think it's, I don't know. It's just so refreshing because it's such a Rocket League is a very unique game.
I like Rocket League, but I will never take Rocket League seriously.
I mean, that's fair enough, but
that's the thing I find funny is every time I play with people want me to take it seriously, and I'm just like, I don't care. I will just drive and hit and run, hit people and fuck them over.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is before this game, I've never felt a game that feels like Rocket League. Because FIFA's not like Rocket League, not in the slightest. I can't think of any other games that play like it. Like third person controlling it in like a sports setting where the mechanics are relatively simple, the controls are relatively simple, but it's all about timing and skill.
I think PlayStation tried to bring out another game like that, but it then died immediately. And it goes to show you because I don't remember the name of it. So.
Yeah. And honestly, I think this game isn't going to just be one of the graveyards. From my gut feeling, I feel like it's going to grow. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But I think it's coming at a place where the games feel a bit stale. And it's kind of a bit of a niche that's not got anything there.
What was it called again?
Rematch, this one.
Yeah, there we go. I should have had that up the whole time. Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. Let's quickly just talk about a game. A game I've been playing for like 7 years is shutting down. It's a mobile game. And it's an
Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, it's a game called Girl X Battle Girl.
Thing is, that's the game that... That's the reason why you appear offline on Discord, isn't it?
No. No, I don't give a shit about that. I just appear offline on Discord because I don't give a shit. What's up? No, this it's basically a gacha game where you basically get anime girls. And I've played it for so fucking long, and I was just like, oh yeah, the servers are shutting down on the 30th. So I was like, oh okay.
No.
But yeah, it's a game that I've played like every day because it's just one of those games where I just do the exact same thing over and over again and just collect all the shit.
That's quite sad.
I have a very... It is. It truly is. I'm glad it's fucking going because I think... The thing is, I started it and I was like... I joked at the very beginning of it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get rid of it once I got a girlfriend. And then several years later, the game shuts down before I get a girlfriend. So that's how my love life's going. Yeah,
well,
I thought I'd end on that
still
sad,
young.
funny note.
You're still young.
I'm not. I'm turning 27. I'm so old.
Actually, you're 3 years from 30.
I am 3 years from 30. We'll see. I don't want to be single by 30. That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying. It's just not working out.
You've got to go out more. You've got to do things.
I'm trying, but every time I do go out, no one wants to fucking go out with me, so I'm just going on my own, and then I just don't talk to people when I'm on my own.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to talk.
I am an introvert.
How are you meant to?
This is my eternal conundrum. I don't like talking to people, but I need to talk to people. It is the eternal struggle of an introvert. I need an extrovert to come out with me to start it.
You need a wingman.
I do need a wingman. Or a wingwoman. But then I'd have to talk to
I would say a
woman.
wingman. I know nothing. I can't wingman anybody. I have the same problem. I don't know how I have a girlfriend.
I don't have friends around me. This is my problem. Everyone's fucked off, so I can't do anything. And then
It's like-
when I do try and organize events, people fucking don't respond.
It's like you. To be fair, I did respond.
No,
one
you
person
didn't. I had to double it up again.
No,
you do
you
respond.
responded originally.
Yeah, I sent it, and then I sent a message, and no one responded. It looked at it. No one responded to it, and then a week later I had to push, and then 2 people went, and then what you included.
It's because
and
I
then
had
no one-
plans on that date and I didn't have to tell anyone, so I just didn't want to respond.
I don't care. Just
Yeah.
tell me. I can rearrange shit, but if no one's telling me shit,
Yeah, but one person's not responding to any messages.
no, they did once, but they haven't responded afterwards.
Yeah.
They have responded, but they're being a bitch about it. So, yeah. So anyway, I thought this was going to be a short one. It's still been 2 hours.
A lot's happened. We're socialising.
I did 4 things, Dan, and that's all it is. It's you. For once, you've carried this episode.
See, look at that. I'm getting out. And, I wasn't even watching things. It was mainly just living life.
Yeah, experiencing love, loss, and tragedy.
Oh,
At least.
emotions, eh?
R.I.P.
Now,
dog
let's-
in the comments.
That's that. So put a link to the photo album and then just see how many people actually join. That sounds dangerous, right?
No, it's more. I was thinking about Pokemon, the trading card game where you show off all your cards that you get, and then people like it, and I was just like, huh, it's okay, yeah. So I was like, just hiking your dead dog out for likes, which is
To be fair, it's not for
what
likes.
social media is. It's well, sympathy, I guess. Please. Anyway, if you liked this episode, next month might be more entertaining for me, because, oh boy, there's a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows, and I've got time off, so...
I'm
Also,
hopefully going to watch more
there's-
things, because I've got fuck all to do next month, so...
I've got a very interesting thing that I might go and do, which is The Lord of the Rings, the extended editions are going to cinema. And I might go do that.
Danny,
It's 3 days.
Danny, get a girlfriend.
They... No. Lord of the Rings is more important.
you need help.
No, do you know what? The amount of women on dating apps that are like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings are like the 2 things that...
Harry Potter, I'm not too bad. I don't remember seeing Lord of the Rings, but Harry Potter I saw a lot of. And F1.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of F1. It's weird. I hate F1 and I hate Harry Potter. So...
They watch it for the men. They're like... What's the
Oh
word?
yeah, I'm sure they love the... Yeah, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton.
They like all of them, I think. I don't know. I don't understand why.
Yeah. Orlando Bloom, I don't know why I struggle with that, is probably the reason why a lot of women are watching Lord of the Rings.
I got confused for a second. I thought you just really mispronounced Lando Norris as the F1 driver.
Who?
There's an F1 driver called Lando Norris, and it just sounded like you horribly mispronounced it,
Probably.
and then just gave the wrong name, and I was like, what the fuck?
No. But yeah, no. I hate dating apps. They suck.
They
so
do
much.
suck. Honestly, you just need to go out. Find a wingman. Who's got a
Oh no,
girlfriend?
this is a funny thing with dating apps. I paid for Tinder's
Do you mean Bumble?
premium thing because I always said that if I hit a certain number of likes, I'd pay for it to see what people liked me.
Yeah.
I did not swipe right on any of them. So I then refunded that payment to get the money back because I thought, nothing against the people. I'm sure they're lovely. It's just they're not my type. So and then I guess my type doesn't like me. So that's my eternal struggle.
I feel like you need a
But
new
when
type.
I do catch them, I get 5 sentences in and then they ghost me. So.
Yeah, but out of 5 sentences, you got to make a date. Plan me plans for a date.
I do, and then they go.
What do you suggest as a date?
I suggest fun thing.
Fun things. Like,
This is-
tell me, what's fun?
I offered. Well, I didn't offer the Dua Lipa because no one in the time frame did it. But no, I don't know because I always end up just doing like. Because the thing is, I always suggest something, and like the amount of times I've got like I have gotten quite far with people, but then I feel like people say, "Oh, don't do it really quickly," but then some people do want you to do it quickly. I just never know the balance. I never.
My mindset is women get about 50 matches a day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So you need to be quick. You need to get her off the app. Give her your number. Get her off the app.
That's what I try and do, but then I still get ghosted for some reason. I don't know. I feel like I just have a very... I don't think my personality translates through text. Because I don't text
therefore, you just need to go out and
I
go
know.
Out. Go to the pub. Just go to the pub, mate.
I don't want to go on my own. It's sad.
Invite someone to the pub. Go
I
like,
can't, because
next Friday. It's Friday night. Go like, is anyone around? Go to the pub.
I don't drink, so I'd just be going there to drink Coke, and I'd be bored as fuck.
That's fine. You don't need to drink alcohol.
I can drink Coke at home.
You're not doing it for the drink. You're doing it for the social.
I know, but my brain won't allow me to do that. It wastes money.
It is a waste of money.
I'm not going to a pub to drink a Coke that costs £3 when I have a mini fridge and I get a 12-pack for £6, or 24-pack of cans for like £6. Like, I don't drink. My biggest eternal struggle is I am better in person, but because all my fucking friends have moved away, I can't arrange shit with people because they don't fucking answer their messages.
Well, let's go.
And it's a 3-hour trip up to you cunts.
I'm sorry.
I know, you should come down to me. It makes my life easy.
Let's go like a mutual location. There's
I
also nothing to do where you make. Hang on, we're getting off topic. Right, let's wrap up the podcast. This is going to be another hour conversation.
There's loads to do. I'm near London. You just don't want to pay London prices.
Yeah, no, too fucking right. I don't. Don't think anyone does. People in London don't want to pay London prices.
London and I bought a can of Coke and they poured half of it and charged me like £4.
Oh dear. Right. Thank you all for listening.
See you next month.
Yes, and never know. Maybe it would be a feature-length episode.
Who knows? I'll make it the extended edition length. So like 10
Fuck's
plus
sake.
hours of.
All right.
We might actually meet up in person, depending on if the fucking friend that we're talking about messages. So maybe we'll record that episode live.
Yeah, I'm pretty free in July, apart from one date now. I think there's a couple of days I'm busy, but most part I'm free.
I'm busy for a couple of weekends, but I also might be doing overtime for all of it, so I don't want to. I got a week off. I'm going to be doing so much shit in that week. Anyway, it's been 2 hours. We hope you enjoyed. No one ever watches this. Like and subscribe, comment, push this, share my love life. If you're single and you want to date me, hit me up. I'll date. Fuck it. Just be over the age of 21.
Fucking hell, is that your...
It should be 22 technically, because
22?
21 at the moment. It will hit 22.
What's your
date
rule?
below 5 or 5. 5 above, 5 below.
Right.
It's like that's my scale of like it gets weird the further away from that you go.
I don't know. I actually think it's harder.
Dan, if I date an 18-year-old, they're 9 years younger than me.
Oh no, I thought that was low. Like that's what I didn't think that was high. As in, like I thought your limit would be 24.
No, it's 5 years below, 5 years above. Because I feel like, but I have it's a creep factor of like if it goes that's like the lowest I will go.
I think it more depends
like
on. Okay, let's just. Point in stage of life.
No, yeah.
I think it depends on what stage of life they are at, as opposed to actually what age they are. Because a physical age is just nothing. It's more about a social age, I would say, is a big difference. Or like
yes, the socially mature 10-year-old. That's dateable.
Obviously, there's still age restriction.
The mature 10-year-old, every pedophile's dream.
I guess my point is, I wouldn't want to date someone in uni, You know, and I wouldn't want to date someone just out of uni. Probably a bit older now because I'm not out of uni. I mean, I got a girlfriend,
Yes,
so
but-
I'm not dating anyone. But
Yes, but also I have to factor in I don't want someone with a kid. So
yeah, I know that, and that's the thing. So you have a
there's
window.
a lot
that's your
of
window.
like I'm fine. I will find someone eventually. Who
I feel like you're eventually going to date someone with a kid.
I don't want to. I don't want to be a stepdad.
You're going to be a stepdad.
There's too many porn things about it.
You're going to be a stepdad.
I don't want to be a stepdad.
You're going
I
to be a
hate
stepdad.
stepdads. I'm a
You're
child
going to be a
of divorce.
stepdad.
I hate
You're going to be a stepdad.
I'm not. I won't.
You're going to
If
be
I
a
hit
stepdad.
30, if I hit 30, maybe. But like, I'm not going to do it whilst I'm 27.
That's fair. That's
No
fair. But
offense
once
to
you're
anyone
30,
with a kid. I have no dating experience. I don't want my first relationship to be a fucking person with a kid. I don't want that responsibility.
I'll be honest, it's a
not fair to them.
miracle how I was only there for 2 months in dating apps.
You just swiped right on the right person at the right time.
Yeah.
And I've been swiping right, and none of them have been
I'm
ever
just saying,
fucking
thank fuck I'm
swiping
not on
back. Yeah, I'm glad I got my weekend.
Yeah.
Anyway, bye.
Bye.